So we are obviously recording this part from home. We recorded this after we came back. On the first day it was raining, right? Mm-hmm. So not
a long rain, but yes.
Yeah, but enough for me not to film. But we film everything in day 2. Let's do this. Let's do the campground review. Let's talk about the campground, get it out of the way, and then let's talk about how our weekend went. And also, we have some interesting facts
about the Amish in Lancaster County.
Yeah, as you know, this campground is located in Amish territory. You're gonna see lots of Amish buggies driving by when you're sitting in the pool. So we have some information that you may not know about Amish. So let's get started.
And no one makes me feel like you do. And no one sets my body on fire. And no one gives me shivers like you. Oh, no one does it better.
So, what do you like the most about this campground?
Well, I think the main draw of this campground is the location.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful, kind of Amish area. It's close to my parents, so that's why we liked it.
Like less than a mile from your parents.
Yeah, lots of fields around. So that's the main attraction. It was quiet.
Yeah, it's also close to a few Lancaster attractions. It's about, what, less than 10 minutes drive to Sight and Sound.
Yeah.
All the
to Burdenham area,
Burdenham Market, American Music Theater, Dutch Wonderland. Everything is
10,
pretty close.
Away.
Yeah, Miller's, which is a really good restaurant. Yeah, so location is great.
Yeah.
What about the campground itself?
The campground itself, I would say, is okay. It had a nice pool. Playground was very not that we could use it because of the pandemic, but the playground was very outdated
and pretty small.
And very small. The campground itself, again, it's hard with the pandemic because I don't know if they typically have a lot of activities, but there weren't a lot of activities.
Yeah.
They did have live
music. It was like a polka country theme, and apparently they do this live music every single weekend, and it was quite enjoyable. It was pretty good, you know, like country type of music. I really liked it.
Right.
Yeah, they do church service every Sunday morning. They have a little chapel. That's something good to consider.
Yeah, and I think the local Amish sell baked goods there. I remember her announcing that. We didn't go check it out.
Yeah. Ooh, by the way, we should put down here the name of the little bakery where your mom buys those little...
Oh, Michael's.
Yeah, it's called Michael's. We're gonna put the name right here, but this, what you call them, sticky buns?
Sticky buns, yeah.
Oh my goodness, they're so good. There is an insane amount of raisins and walnuts, depending on what kind you pick.
Butter.
Yeah, but they are really amazing. You put those in a cast iron in the morning over the fire with a little bit of butter.
Okay, back to the review.
Getting too excited, getting carried away. Back to the review, all right.
So yeah, so a nice location, you know, well-kept campground, nice pool.
They have a little store where, you know, the basics like every campground. About the sites are, some of them are fairly close to each other, some of them have a little bit more space. At the entrance of the campground, they have an area that is really open, beautiful open green field, but those are only water and electric. And yeah, I don't think this campground gets like crazy busy. We actually don't know.
This is our first time.
Yeah, but they can accommodate big rigs. They have a few pretty big pull-through sites. Also, they are located next to an auction grounds. So, you know, they auction every kind of stuff there, weapons, everything. So that's something else to check out. All right, so get this. I forgot the battery to my main camera. I have been really sad, kicking myself, because I thought this video was gonna be really bad. And I was gonna take my bike to ride around the campground to get some shots for you guys. But thankfully, my friend Tim here, who watches the channel, recognized me this morning. We were talking. He's actually getting a cool, pretty amazing RV soon, and he's giving us a tour around the golf cart, in the golf cart around the campground. So all the cool shots that you're seeing in this video, thanks to this guy right here.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up our review of this campground. It's quiet,
medium-sized campground
place.
I'm gonna say that I like the campground more than what I was actually expecting.
Yeah.
People in the office were quite nice, so yeah. I think we will come back, especially considering how close it is to your parents.
Yeah.
So this campground is located in Amish area. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I grew up in Lancaster, and
I thought you were going to say I grew up Amish.
and you know, I actually had to look up a lot of these facts, because even though I knew a little bit, I don't know a ton about the Amish. Just seeing them and knowing that they kind of have a different way of lifestyle. But I looked up some fun, interesting facts about them, just to make sure that my knowledge was right. So one interesting fact is that the population in Lancaster is around 38,000 people, which is still a small percentage of the Lancaster's population. But I think I read that it's like 40% of the growth each year is typically from the Amish. So that's pretty cool. Another fact, like you said, is that they do kind of keep to the literal translation of the Bible, and which means separating themselves from the worldly things. So phones, radios, TVs, cars, even clothing. I mean, they wear clothing, but it's plain clothing. They have kind of like
usually
specifics.
all black or a few
All
pastel
black,
colors.
So they kind of keep anything that's worldly. They kind of separate themselves from. Even photos and videos. In the Bible, they says there's to be no graven image, so they see that as a violation of biblical.
It's something I think is important to know for us as visitors. They consider that rude. So if you just go and try to take their picture, or even ask them, just don't.
Yeah, they don't like that. So when you were asking me to try to film them while we were driving by, I was like, no, that's not nice.
I knew, but they didn't know that you were filming them.
I know, but still. Anyway, another interesting fact, and this is something I didn't know, even though I would see, you see Amish at like fast food places, at the Turkey Hill Minute Market. You see them getting
at Walmart,
getting the same kind of foods that we get. But I kind of always thought they kind of stuck to a strict diet, but they don't. They don't have any dietary restrictions, even though they probably do eat a lot healthier by eating, you know, a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff like the traditional PA Dutch diets. They don't have any dietary restrictions, so they will eat out at restaurants and fast food joints and stuff like that.
Something I also learned, a little bit related to that, is that you are not expected to follow the Amish religion rules until you are an adult, I believe. So when you're younger, you are actually allowed to have a cell phone. You are allowed to drive a car, I believe. I might be wrong, but there is a certain age where you have to make a decision if you follow their religion or not.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. I do know that it's once you've committed that they take it a little bit more seriously, but I don't know that it's all, you know, free reign when you're a kid, because, you know, you have some research to do, so look it up.
I think when people do their research, they're gonna discover that I am actually right.
Right. Okay, and the last fun fact that I have down is that that Amish men do not grow their beards until they are married, and once they are married, it's considered a sign of adulthood. so they let their beards grow. So
Yeah,
that's
something
how you know.
interesting too is that when you see the little buggies driving around Lancaster, if they have no roof, you see a couple with no roof, that's probably because they are not married. Once you are married, then you are allowed to.
Yeah, but there are in some of the
What is that? So you can do frisky things?
no,
inside the
I
buggy?
don't know. But there are, when I was reading the Amish information that Lancaster County published, there are a lot of different sects of Amish. So not all of them follow the exact same orders, and there are a lot of Mennonites in Lancaster.
Yeah,
and
so
Mennonites
Amish
are
and
not the
Mennonites are
same as
very,
Amish.
very close. They're not
They're
the
similar,
same,
but they're not the
close.
same.
Yeah, I heard that like every religion, like I grew up evangelical, and some of them were very strict. No makeup, no jewelry, no nothing. I heard that Amish people are like that. Some of them are really rigid about their ways, and some of them are a little bit more laid
Right.
back.
I think in Lancaster County they're a little bit more traditional, but there's other states that have Amish, and their customs and cultures are different.
So here's the question of the year that I have for you, Amish expert. Amish Mafia. Does it exist?
Oh my
Is it a real thing?
I don't really know. We watched a few episodes of that.
Oh, I
You
watched
watched
the whole
most
thing.
of them. I watched a few episodes. I didn't see that had any basis in reality, but
This is what I know so far. So the cast of the Amish Mafia show, they are real people from Lancaster. Most of them live within the Birmingham area. Your brother has seen them quite a bit, but as far as like what they do and the whole mafia thing, that's all production. Amish people, they don't handle things the way we do, like calling the cops and everything. They usually go to their religious leader, and he helps them like make the decision, implements punishments, and lays the law like Fawn does in this house. Didn't you tell me a story once of your Amish neighbors coming to play at your home, and then they saw the TV and they didn't know what it was?
no. No. So my mom used to work for an Amish family, and in the summer times, a lot of times we would go along and we would play with them. And once we had a kite with Ninja Turtles on it, and they didn't know what that was. And we said, "Don't you watch TV?" And they were like, "What's TV?" So that was
Interesting. All right, so that's what we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. It was good to review one more campground.
yeah.
I hope we can get.
We got another one coming up.
Yes, which one?
We had planned and it got canceled, and planned and got canceled again. But you are going down to the Outer Banks in
Yeah.
North Carolina to review that campground down there.
Yeah, that's coming in a couple of weeks, and that's gonna be really interesting. Brand new campground, is waterfront, and apparently they're gonna have a really good. I'm trying to sound American, and then that's when I sound very
Send
awful.
yourself.
Yeah, so it's a really nice campground, waterfront. For what I hear, they have a lot of cool plans for this place. I think they have a speedboat that is gonna give you like a tour around the Outer Banks. I heard that they're gonna have even like a massage therapy thing and everything. It's gonna be like glamping.
I'm gonna have to get a seasonal down
100%.
there.
Get a seasonal there. Yeah, but that's coming in a few weeks.
All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you do check out this campground or any other campgrounds because of our reviews, again, please let them know. It really helps our relationship with the campgrounds.
When you go sign up in the front desk, let them know that you heard about them, because RV East Coast.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see you later. Guys, it's a little windy out here. I'm sorry if the wind is making noise, but I have to tell them, because when I edit these videos, it bothers them.
I know, but you always say that, and it's more annoying for you to have to like explain, well, there's wind, than for people to just hear the wind. Steady population growth. I think 40% of the population growth.
What is the origin of the Amish? Like, how did they come to be? Oh, you can see.
Why did you ask me that?
I thought you researched it.
No, I didn't research their origin.
So as we mentioned it, you think I don't have enough knowledge to introduce
No,
this
you
topic?
said you wanted me to pick 5 facts.
Oh, you are sharing the 5 facts.
But now you're trying to dictate what is being said. So-
No, I'm not dictating. I'm just trying to figure out how we introduce it. Okay? Okay? Just get comfy and don't get annoyed and be nice.
Okay.
And pretend like you like your husband. Okay? Yeah?
Okay.
Alright, so as we mentioned, this campground is in the middle